Hey everyone, Mark Williams here with Trigger Time Training in Longmont, Colorado. Now before you start criticizing me, understand this is for a good cause. In addition to being a firearms instructor, I'm also a firefighter. And all the guys, we're doing this No Stash November kind of fundraiser for some children. So before you think about talking, just think it's going to a good cause. Now aside from the jokes with my mustache, let's discuss a little bit about what we have in front of us. So being in the firearms industry as well as being a firearms instructor, one of the skill sets we teach a lot is precision rifles and precision weapon systems. And when people come to us and ask Mark or a salesman, I guess it doesn't really matter that it's me, to show them high quality optics at an affordable price, it's really difficult to pair those two together because it's almost a paradox in the industry we unfortunately live in. When I made the caption for the name of this video, I think I'm doing disjustice to what I'm about to show you guys because Burris has really outdone themselves with some of the optics they have coming out with their new line. I want to dive a little bit into the new Burris XTR II line and discuss some of the things and features that they offer that not many manufacturers for the price point can offer in today's market. They're just completely blowing the market out. These high-level optics makers are probably cringing at a lot of what's coming out from Burris, and the fact they're just up the road from us in Greeley, Colorado makes it quite nice that they're about a half hour away from us. We can talk to the guys and see what they're thinking about some different options. So Burris is an American company, I guess you could say. They're out of Greeley, Colorado. I believe they're a syndicator somehow partnered with Steiner, which we'll talk about in the future, but they have a new line of tactical scopes out. So when we discuss tactical scopes, we're talking about mill reticles, turrets or turret systems that will turn in mill clicks, as well as some type of reticle system that allows you to hastily or rapidly conduct some range estimation by using some data and some reticle options inside of them. Many of them are illuminated and they're built really rock tough. So Burris came out with the XTR II line, and I think they wanted to get into that budget system. The cool thing is they offer scopes like this guy, which is a 1-to-5 power for our CQC, close quarters combat, or 3-gunners, all the way up to a 4 by I believe it's a 4x40 or something in that category. Forgive me, it might be a little off, but I know it's a 40 power reticle for extreme long range. Next to it right here, this is a 2-to-10 power. They have a 3-to-15, a 4-to-20, and a 5-to-25. So they have a ton of options out there for whatever the skill set or the reason you may be using your reticles. The cool part is none of the scopes, to my knowledge, are over $1,300. And the field testing we've conducted with these new Burris XTR, specifically the 2-to-10 and the 1-to-5, has been sensational. We deal with optics as high classes Premier, which is now Tangent Data, Schmidt & Bender, Steiner, Callus, and those are all fabulous optics, and I'd be lying if I said these outdo them. They don't outdo them. But what they do is offer you something just a wee bit lower than them for a third or even half the price. You know, it's incredible that this optic right here, which is the 2-to-10, is, what do we got here? $800, $799. Something from a more high-end company may cost as much as $2,500. So let's talk a little bit about them. So the Burris XTR II line, they've kind of redesigned some of the things on them. The variable power knobs as well as the turrets from their Burris XTR II line or XTR line have been changed. They've also changed some of the internal mechanisms for which powers the scope and how they're kind of adjusted. They've made them much more robust. Additionally, they've changed some of the optics technology. There's a rumor, I don't know if this is true or not, that they took some of Steiner's technology and actually used it inside of these optics. They've changed some of their manufacturing protocols and how they actually build these guys to get them down to a price point that's very attainable. There's tons of options out there for what you can do. This is a 1-to-5 combo. So this will have the Burris pepper mount in addition to the 1-to-5 reticle with the Fastfire 3. So this is a combo that you can purchase. It's an option for you to get it with all this stuff, or you can get it without it. The reticles have tons of adjustment in them. Let's see here, this Burris XTR II, elevation adjustments, 90 minutes of angle, and windage is 55. So that's just an incredible amount of adjustment for an optic of this price. This one is one of the only ones, the 2 to 10, that doesn't have a illuminated reticle feature. Most of the other ones do, so that's something to look forward to. That being said, in a 2 to 10, this is an excellent hunting scope or a mid-distance range scope out to about 1,000 yards. I think you could definitely get 10 shot or a 10 power to get out there and reach and touch a 1 minute of angle target. I've never really used illuminated reticles. People buy them all the time because it's kind of the cool thing to do right now, but you know, unless you're really in that tactical world, and I really mean shooting at people in faraway places or on the streets that mean to do us harm, there's not a lot of reason for having that reticle when time isn't always of the essence. Aside from that, just some other things. This reticle inside this, as well as most of the bigger powered scopes, not to include the 1 to 5, are going to have a GB2 mil dot reticle. They're going to be first focal plane, so as you zoom in or zoom out of the reticle, or I'm sorry, the optic, the reticle will actually scale bigger or smaller. And for those who aren't aware, first focal plane are arguably the more expensive and the more desirable. A second focal plane, as I zoom in and out, your reticle inside is going to stay the same, which means that only at 1 power is that going to be scaled to the actual view you're looking at. So without really making this video too much longer, just understand all of these are going to be first focal plane. It's the more expensive feature, and it's the feature most of us want as tactical shooters, competition, or hunter shooters. Some other things about it. This specific one's got a 42 millimeter objective lens and a 34 millimeter tube. One thing I have noticed about the Burris reticles, whatever they've done to the glass has been pretty stellar. I recently taught a designated marksman's course where we had a gentleman out there that had a $3,000 Schmidt & Bender 20-something power scope. The fellow to his left had a 4 to 20 Burris XTR II, and we actually were conducting some mill ranging out to 1,108 yards on I think a 3 minute of angle target. And that $3,000 scope as well as that sub $1,500 scope both read the same mill relation within about 3 yards of each other, which is just incredible to begin with. On top of that, I've taught several courses now where the Burris XTR2s have been matched right up with those 3, 4, 5 times as much money scopes, and have been completely handling them just as well. I can't really think of a whole lot of downsides to these. Some people will say, if you're not familiar, when you turn the actual knobs, I guess I could kind of agree with that. The textile response, or the actual detent of each click, isn't as defined as some of the more expensive scopes. So when you're actually under the glass, you're not able to look at the actual turrets. You can just feel how many clicks. If you're wearing gloves, or if you're on a hunt and you're about to get your harvest and your blood's pumping, you may not be able to feel those small clicks, and you may go too far, not enough. So that might be one gripe, but aside from that, man, I can't really think of it. At the end of the day, Burris, let's see what they have here. The XTR II line, they got a 1 to 5 by 24, a 1.5 to 8, a 2 to 10, which this guy is, 3 to 15, 4 to 20, 5 to 25, and I believe, like I said, that 8 to 40 or 4 to 40. I know it's that pretty big one. Like I said, none of them over really $1,200, so that's sensational that Burris can do that. We're a Burris dealer here, so if you want to come check these reticles or these scopes out, please feel free to. You can also find us at www.t3main.com. If you're looking for that sub $1,200 category, or if you're just kind of on the fence of, well, I can afford something but not anything too expensive, highly suggest the Burris. Take the Pepsi challenge with them if you don't like them. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit of depreciated value, but you can sell them and get something else. Take it from me, they're very good optics for that price point. Until next time, my name is Mark Williams, T3 trainer and chief instructor. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll be seeing you soon.